All right, what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm Justin Franson here with Dixie Wall at the Cone Health Institute. Thank you, Dixie, for joining us for our Go Beyond Summit. And this is Energy Beyond. And so Dixie is an impressive physician here at Cone Health Institute. She's a licensed acupuncturist, holistic health practitioner, massage therapist, certified. And then, in addition, she does what all these chiros do, is NAET to clear allergies, and then NET, the neuro-emotional techniques to clear emotional holding patterns in your body. And she does all that in one treatment when you see her. She's so intuitive, so gifted as a healer. Dr. Cone really attributes his success with healing an injury with the disc all from her work. She initiated the whole healing process, and it's just unbelievable work. So acupuncture, to me, I came across it when I was 7. My father had a neurological challenge, so that's about 40 years ago, and it's just unbelievable. I've had always so much respect in this field, in this modality. Dr. Steven Steitler introduced it to me later on when I was 19. I mean, I've just seen this and seen how it's helped my energy over the years, and seen it with so many of my clients as well, referring out to amazing acupuncturists. So I wanted to turn it over to our featured speaker today. We're going to call her Dixie. And so Dixie, tell us about when you come across energy, what are some of the biggest stressors on the causing lack of energy for your patients?
Well, thank you for the introduction and also your testimonial. Beautiful. Yeah, energy and acupuncture definitely go together. We have these invisible meridian lines of energy that run through our body, and acupuncture is basically based on the theory of balancing the energy within the body and basically removing any blockage, any stress of kind, whether it's structural, chemical, toxic, emotional, okay, so that the body can heal itself.
Right.
Very, very much along the lines of, other philosophies of integrative medicine, chiropractic, homeopathy.
Right.
So it's basically empowering the body, okay, through the needles. Also, we use moxibustion. There's many different ways to stimulate the points through pressure, to remove these blockages and create this balance, right, where the body can actually heal itself. So, here in the clinic, we see a lot of different types of patients. One of the main things that we see is we see a lot of stress. And the top things that I see as far as stress are chemical stress as well as emotional stress. Now, acupuncture is a very old medicine, so, I don't think they were seeing quite as much chemical stress 2,000 years ago as that we are now. So that's something a little different that we're dealing with. And luckily, we also have a lot of great therapies here that can address some of those underlying issues as well.
Right.
But the NET has really added that extra component to treat some of the emotional stuff. Now, acupuncture is really great for treating the emotions because, they believe the mind and body are very much connected.
Yes.
Okay, so that's, so you can't kind of treat one without the other. So that's a great thing about acupuncture is it really works on all those different components.
Okay. So now with energy, let's talk about the energy of the body and the meridians. And so when you're actually putting a needle in somebody, describe what that does as far as stimulating, just the energy flow through the body. Share deeper, in-depth knowledge on acupuncture.
So all the meridians have a connected organ. So if you're working on your large intestine meridian, okay, which runs from here all the way up here and up to the nose, then you're actually working on the large intestine as well.
Oh.
So it also connects energetically to the actual organ.
Okay.
So a lot of people know that large intestine 4 at this point can be really good for movement, for headache. It's called he gu, which means big move. Okay, in Chinese. And what does that do? It creates large movement, right? So that can be really good for headaches. Everyone knows that, right? To move the chi, move the energy. Too much going on here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it can actually clear it.
Wow.
So that's an easy way to explain it. Another translation for Western medicine that may be more familiar to your listeners is also that they've taken blood samples before and after giving someone acupuncture, and they've noticed a release of endorphins,
Uh-huh.
which are 200 times stronger than morphine for pain killing, right? So that's why acupuncture is so good for pain.
Yes.
They also see a release of neurotransmitters, really, really good for the brain, dopamine, serotonin, all those feel-good things, okay?
Yes.
Which is why some people, when they get off my table, kind of float out of here,
Yes, they
forgetting
do.
their stuff. But it also, the cool thing is it also increases the circulation, okay, while decreasing inflammation. So that's, one of the things that it can do. I think we talked a little bit earlier about how to increase your energy using acupuncture therapies. And so that's a nice thing, is you can actually do certain points that maybe will move the movement down a little bit, but then work more on moving the energy up here. So everyone's got a very specific diagnosis we're working with. That's the one thing that I want to stress about the Chinese medicine, and is that you would never do the same set of points on one patient.
Okay.
It's always very, very custom.
Now, do you check the pulse? Do you look at the tongue? Do you do all the above? What are some of your indicators to know where to put needles and where the weaknesses are?
Yeah, we definitely check tongue. We definitely check pulse. Luckily, we do apply kinesiology in this office as well, so we can use that as another tool. We also do a lot of lab work, so we can read lab work. So it's about, not only using like these ancient, beautiful, time-tested techniques to reach your diagnosis, but also integrating this new lab test. Chinese medicine has been, they were the original energy doctors,
Definitely.
muscle testers.
Definitely.
So they do a lot of that, incorporating in, I know you talk about incorporating diet, nutrition, exercise, how important those things are for the energy as well. So we kind of, pull from everything.
You mesh it all together. That's awesome. Now, what is as far as an intake, what would be a nice menu that you would want your clients to see? I know everyone has different body types and such, but it just on a broad spectrum, like non-GMO, organic, like what are some of the things that it just intake-wise would help people's energy increase?
So I kind of always look at lifestyle. Chinese medicine doctors always really take into account someone's nutrition, someone's diet, someone's exercise. As a matter of fact, that's why I went to the acupuncturist first when I was 26 years old, was because I had extreme fatigue. So it's funny that you asked me to speak on this topic. And when I went and saw him, he told me that I needed to start eating meat. And I freaked. Absolutely freaked, okay? I had been vegetarian since I was 13.
Wow.
I had been vegan for 5 of those, 13 years I had now been vegetarian.
Wow.
And just the idea alone just freaked me out.
Wow.
And he walked me through it. He held my hand and made me realize, look, you're creating this imbalance in your body by not, 13 to quit eating red meat at the time when you start menstruating, terrible idea, right? And so he really made me think more of, rather than one extreme, which I think our culture kind of gravitates to, more of a balanced lifestyle. Did he want me to come out and just eat, meat all day? No. But he realized that I had this deficiency, okay, through my tongue and pulse without even looking at my iron, through my eyes, that, I was really lacking in some essential nutrients. So that was a very interesting experience, and he walked me through it, held my hand. I was able to start incorporating a better balanced diet for me, okay, because it's custom for everyone. You're like, oh, what are some big tips? Obviously, you want to stay away from inflammatory foods, but it's also very individualized, and that's where Chinese medicine comes in too. I also have a bunch of list of foods that basically some tonify qi, some dissolve phlegm, some warm the body, some cool the body, right? Because some people are really hot, too much yang.
Yeah.
And some people are too much yin, they're kind of lazy, So you want to give the appropriate types of foods. So foods have a nature, they have a temperature, they go to a certain organ, some of them dissolve phlegm, some of them accumulate moisture. So is the patient dry? Do they need moisture, or are they just, splitting up phlegm? Do they need to dissolve phlegm? So it's very, very deep. That acupuncturists are really big into nutrition and using food and herbs, obviously. So.
Well, I mean, this is just so true in so many ways, and I've seen it, and it just, you guys go see an acupuncturist. But not only just an acupuncture, I think at the end of the day, what I've seen too is the acupuncturists that integrate either chi or movement energy with the needles in, integrate other amazing systems for clearing stuff like Dixie does. I mean, these are the ones that just go above and beyond as far as bringing your energy up, and it's such a phenomenal system. Now, the energy can move energy for injuries as well. So just talk a little bit about acupuncture for injuries, just to derail a little bit.
Yeah, I do see a lot of athletes. I mean, the main reason that someone would come and see an acupuncturist usually for injuries is either they've had it for a long time and nothing else has worked, right? Or if they're an athlete that has some sort of, they want to cut down their recovery time. So everyone gets injured, right? Especially when you're an athlete, that's what happens. Well, acupuncture can really cut down that injury recovery time, so they can just be strong again and getting ready for their next race. Also, herbs can do that. We have a lot of great Chinese herbs that can do that as well. Okay. But basically, it just, works through the body's, removing those blockages, increasing the blood flow, decreasing the inflammation, and getting those endorphins going that can, get rid of some of the pain and inflammation.
So that you're just expediting the healing process, essentially.
Basically.
Which is what it does.
Immune system stimulation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Better than ice or heat. At the end of the day, it just is. Now, Dixie, share with us some of the different points that you would press. If you wanted to boost your energy and you said, hey, here's a couple key points, like you talked about the more energy spot, or hit a few other different key points that can help give a few tips to people that right now you could do at home.
Okay, so one of the main points that I really like for boosting your energy, moving your energy up. Okay, so this point would be really good for someone who has fatigue, somebody who's generally just kind of a depressive personality, right, just to kind of get things moving upward, okay? Getting more blood flow up to the brain. So basically, it's on the very top of the head, okay, at the very top. And the way you find this point is you take the apex of the ears, which is the pointy part of the ears, and you follow it straight up until your fingers meet up at the top. And you can almost feel the area of where your fontanelle when you were a baby kind of closed in there. There's that kind of a little soft spot still left. Mm-hmm. This one's really, really good to stimulate the energy in the brain. Gosh, when I was studying for my exams, I always had a bunch of needles in this area because it really can boost the IQ, just give you that kind of lift that you need.
Awesome.
One other point that I think that would really, really help is we all know that we have a lot of stress in society today, okay? All kinds of emotional stress. And that really is what can damage our energy levels on all different levels. So the liver gets affected most by emotional stress. So the point that I like most for liver is on the toe, which is going to be kind of hard to show. But
show it on the hand. So basically on your hand.
Yeah, so on your hand, it's going to be between the first and the second toe, right in the webbing.
There you go.
Okay, and you can feel this point work. And what this does is it moves that blockage, moves that stress, that emotional stress. And you will definitely feel this one, but that helps as well.
Awesome. So 2 fantastic points and what are they called? What are the 2 points called?
This one's Do 20, your governing channel 20, okay, and it lifts you up. And then the liver point that we showed on the toes, this one will help get rid of the stagnation that could be also dragging your energy downward.
Awesome. I love it. You guys, these are tips that you could just do and you can rub them throughout the day. You can't overdo it, right?
No.
And it doesn't take a lot of pressure either. Just real subtle, just
10 seconds, medium pressure.
Stimulate the area. Let the body start to listen to some of these areas. It's just basically giving your massage to your whole body just by working on one point that works the liver, which everything has to flush through there. So that's just fantastic. Now, as far as boosting energy, now do you use magnets with acupuncture points? That people could just take home and put on? And do you do any of that work? Tell us about magnets and acupuncture work for boosting energy.
Yeah, I generally do use magnets, especially on the ear. I really like them. It's a great take-home treatment. You've got over 300 points on your ear.
300.
Yeah, so you can basically treat just about anything.
And how many in the whole body?
About 365 in the body. Not including the extra points.
Are these all of them?
Yeah. But on the ear, it's reflexology. So every area of the body is represented in the ear. So it's a nice way for the patient to take, an active treatment home that they can participate in. You can leave the ear magnets in for anywhere from 3 to 5 days, and you can work on anything they need work on. One of my favorite points, which you can actually do at home too, is right behind the ear lobe. And this point's really good for energy. It's called Happy Point.
Is it where
one of my great mentors from China.
Where is it in reference to where your ear's pierced? Is it above it?
It's right behind it.
Or just right behind it?
Right behind it, exactly. Okay. So just kind of rubbing that earlobe, pinching that point. A lot of people say it's in Western medicine the reason why the ear is so effective too for treating things like weight loss, addiction, anxiety, right? You've heard of the NADA protocol we use for addiction very commonly, is because right in this cave part of the ear is directly connected to your vagus nerve 10, which regulates your parasympathetic versus your sympathetic nervous system. So it can really get you into the parasympathetic, right?
Which is where we want to be.
Our digest.
Yes.
You want energy, you have to rest, and you have to digest. If you're not properly absorbing your nutrients, you'll be exhausted.
Yeah. That's an awesome tip. That's fantastic. Now, how do you remember 360 points? I mean, that's unbelievable. All right. Well, you guys, Dixie is here at the Cone Health Institute with all these amazing docs. You guys, we just learned from a holistic health practitioner, a licensed acupuncturist, really about how acupuncture takes your energy beyond. And not just any acupuncture, but one that has all these other modalities that could splash into it. And then we have several tips for you to take home that are just fantastic for boosting your energy and your chi and getting that yin and yang balanced. And that's, I think, at the end of the day, exactly what you do.
Yeah. And for more information about me, or if you want to look at some of the blogs I've written, you can go to my website, which is AcuWorksHealth.com. You can also find me on Facebook under AcuWorks.
AcuWorks, AcuWorks.com. Dixie Wall, thank you.
AcuWorksHealth.com.
AcuWorksHealth.com.
Yeah.
We'll have a link to her and her whole bio. You'll see that on the site.
Great.
But
thank you.
AcuWorksHealth.com. Thank you, Dixie Wall, for taking our energy beyond.
Thank you, Justin.